And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Chase Race number 4 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series here in Season 5. We are getting ready for the running of the Camping World RV Sales 301 to take place here at Loudon, New Hampshire at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Today we are getting ready to come in off the heels of what was really quite a controversial Snickers Cup Series event last week at Supercell. If you didn't tune in for that race, it really shook the points up quite a bit, kind of moved everybody back into the same proximity as far as points is concerned, and it's really going to put on a great points battle here today at this racetrack. On the pole for this race is going to be rookie Zach Campbell, still trying to pick up his first win of the season and the second of the season for the Ray Abraham boys. I was thinking Richard Petty for some reason. Then alongside of him is going to be another rookie. That is Joshua Michaels there for Stewart Haas Racing. He's also looking for his first win of the season in that 10 car. James Silverfox, another rookie, completes top 3 as he's going to roll off from the 3rd position. Alongside of him, Jacob Lawler in the new paint scheme for the 15 crew here today. Then the rest of the top 5 is completed by Dylan Poteet, who comes in 11th out of the 12 Chase drivers. According to my calculations, he is a total of 55 points back from James McCloud, who is actually starting alongside. James McCloud, the points leader. His lowest advantage over any driver is a total of 14 points, and that is over Austin Ogo heading into today's race. But McCloud, a nice starting position. Keep in mind, though, James McCloud had a nice starting spot for the race last week at Supercell. He was leading the race, got involved in an incident, and DNF'd from that event. James McCloud certainly trying to turn it around here today at New Hampshire. I'm trying to look and see if any other chasers are starting up near the front of the field. I may be incorrect, but I believe that's Anthony McCurry's machine. I'm trying to see here. No, I guess not. That's Mary Cole, actually. Mary Cole lining up in the 9th position there in the number 4. As a matter of fact, it's interesting. Tweenix Racing starting in 2 rows together. Row 3 and row 5 with Mary Cole in 9th, and alongside of her, Sean Henley to round out the top 10 here today. Henley comes in 3rd in points after a solid top 10 run last week at Supercell. Mary Cole dead last out of the 12 championship contenders, as she is currently 12th in the Chase standings. We're going to be taking a look here at the official starting lineup for today's race. Then we'll come back and try and figure out just exactly who could be in contention to be the points leader leaving today. We'll be definitely keeping an eye on the points battle, as it certainly has closed up after what happened at Supercell. But we're stepping aside from Supercell. We're here at New Hampshire, going to see what this track brings to the table. It's brought about some pretty exciting finishes in both Truck and Mobile Cup Series action. Let's see what we're going to have in store for us here today at the track known as the Extra Mile. Getting ready to go to green flag racing here. Zach Campbell on the point. Rookies hold 3 of the top 5 positions for the start of this race. That's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. All 3 of those rookies have yet to go to victory lane still this season as well. See if maybe they can do something here today as the green flag's ready to come out. 45 laps here today in this event. It'll be interesting to see which line is going to be the preferred line. We've seen in the Trucks and Mobile Cup Series events where that outside line gets good runs off of turn 2 and turn 4. And you can see Joshua Michaels hanging tough on the outside line with Zach Campbell. Apparently the outside line kicking in here early on in this event. And look at this. There's Michaels trying to get the outside advantage. It's ahead by about half a car length. Campbell continues to battle back down low. Let's see if the run off turn 4 is going to help Joshua Michaels clear the 9. Not just yet. Zach Campbell still on that inside line, still hanging tough, but I think if Joshua Michaels can make his exit off turn 2 perfect, he may be able to clear Zach Campbell coming down the back straightaway here. And yes, indeed, I think he has him cleared. He's going to try and come down in front of him, and Joshua Michaels, by advantage of starting on the high side, he is going to go to the lead. Interesting here at this track that the outside line is the one that gets the run to be able to pick up positions. And now Campbell is going to follow behind the GoDaddy.com Chevrolet. And oh, look, he's going to peek out to the outside now and try and make some kind of a run on Joshua Michaels. Now, looks like he's not going to make up much ground right now. Let's take a look, jump back here at this battle going on between teammates. Dylan Poteet and James McCloud, these two still side by side. There you see Mary Coles finally moved herself up to the high side just in front of her Tweenix teammate Sean Henley. There's Barney Ward there as well. Barney Ward ended up having a great run last week at Supercell. He got involved in a wreck, but he was able to salvage a top 15 finish. Barney Ward running inside the top 10 here for this race as well. Barney Ward really trying to show some consistency here. Right now, he currently is 10th in the chase points, but remember, this is a 10-race chase rather than 5, which we've been used to, so there's still plenty of time for consistency to come into play, and it could work out in Barney Ward's favor. Right behind him, Anthony McCurry there with the sponsorship of Rolex on his 61. McCurry is 7th in points, a 2-time winner this season. According to my calculations, he's a total of 28 points back from James McCloud in the point standings right now. Let's jump back, try and find some other chasers. There's one running a new paint scheme this week. That's a Cole Daly, or Daly rather. Cole Daly in the 17. Currently 5th in the standings. He's a former winner this season, and he is a total of 21 points back from James McCloud, the points leader. Running the Babbling Next Gen paint scheme here today. Let's take a look back, see if we can find anybody else. Oh wait, there's a spin up ahead. Spin, spin, spin. Was it any of the leaders? Guess not. Okay, it was at the tail end of the field apparently, and it was just smoke lingering. I'll tell you, after that incident we had at Supercell, now I'm really wary of stuff that happens up at the front of the field. And the spin out is going to be for Jake Rogers in the 93. Someone else has got damage further up there. Might have been Derek Reed in the 13, I don't know. But Jake Rogers looks like he's the reason the caution comes out for the first time here today. It's on lap number 5. Let's take a look at a replay. Now, as I said before, this was near the back of the pack, and right here is going to be the contact. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Dylan Young going to come right up into Jake Rogers. I don't know if those two had a little bit of a dispute or some kind of an incident happened beforehand, but apparently Dylan Young wasn't too happy about Jake Rogers being there and pushes him up into the outside retaining wall right in front there of Rohit Vidarvu and a chaser in Adam Chambers. John Citadino right there as well, able to just barely squeak through in that 42 Chevrolet. And there's Derek Reed caught up behind it as well. So it looks like Dylan Young and Jake Rogers were the only two that really got damaged. Everybody else did a really good job getting through that incident. But I'm not really sure what the motive was there of the patriotic schemed deuce today of Dylan Young, because he just went right up into Jake Rogers, forced him into the outside retaining wall. So it'd be interesting to hear what the Dylan Young side of the story of that incident was, as Jake Rogers spinning out along with Dylan Young on the front straightaway puts us under the caution for the first time today. Let's take a look and see if they'll make any pit stops this early on. On lap 7, and pit stops are going to happen, so let's see what the strategy is going to be here this early in this event. Looks like nobody decided to roll the dice and stay out. Everybody coming down pit road here. Looks like they're going to go with the right sides here, at least a 2-tire stop for Joshua Michaels. Looks like Zach Campbell, yeah, he went with fuel only. I was noticing they didn't even jack up any side of his car. He's going to go with a fuel only stop. He's gone. Richard Johnson may have done the same. He's going to come out second. Then the drag race off pit road, Michaels, Silver Fox, and McCloud. That's going to be the top 5, but interesting strategy for these two, Campbell and Johnson, last week's winner from Supercell, going with a fuel only strategy. So those two will start first and second when we go back to green. Let's do that now. Through the incredible talent of teleportation, we are now ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be on lap 10 of 45, give us a total of 36 laps to go. Zach Campbell is the leader, Richard Johnson second. As we know, they went with a fuel-only strategy. They took no tires there, so they will start first and second. Joshua Michaels is going to be third, fourth James Silverfox, and fifth is James McCloud. P.Q. London sixth, seventh is Barney Ward. Anthony McCurry 8th, 9th Jacob Lawler, and Dylan Poteet completes top 10. Then you got Callum Wales in 11th. 12th is Jake Cole. Cole Daly runs in 13th, 14th Eric Burton, Sean Henley 15th, 16th is Matthew Rodriguez, Danny Wells 17th, 18th place is going to be Mary Cole, 19th is Sean Galligan, and Trent Dunham is going to complete the top 20. Let's go a little further back. Jordan Davis is 21st, 22nd George Rowe, Kyle Sosnowski 23rd, 24th is Alex DeMarco with Trent Whitney in 25th, 26th is Jeffrey Buckeye, John Cittadino 27th, Charles Jackson 28th, 29th is Austin Ogo, and Hayden Klein completes the top 30. Let's find the rest of our chasers here. Adam Chambers is in 33rd, Aaron Williams Jr. is in 34th, and I believe that's it for our chasers. Yes, it is. Green flag comes back out here on lap number 10. Nobody went back behind the wall after that 2-car spin on the front straightaway, so all 42 cars are still on the racetrack and still on the lead lap. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how well Richard Johnson is able to hold off everybody, because we know that he and Campbell went with fuel only. Campbell's been able to get away, so that means Richard Johnson is the car that everybody's going to be ganging up on now with their fresh rubber. Can't really fault the strategy of either Zach Campbell or Richard Johnson, though, because this track, we've seen how they're able to get by each other on the high side. It seems to be the preferred line, but this is not an easy track to make passes at. So track position is really key, and I think that a lot of drivers are relying today on the fact that pit strategy is what's going to get them that track position rather than passes on the track. Joshua Michael's going to look down to the inside of Richard Johnson. Let's see if the fresh rubber is going to help him to make a pass down low. Remember, Richard Johnson and Zach Campbell, their tires are only 6 laps older than the rest of these other drivers. It's not really that much of a difference. And Richard Johnson going to try and hold the high side. Dylan Young looks like he just made a pit stop. May have come down to repair the damage on that race car. We know he ended up getting into Jake Rogers and may have gotten a piece of the outside retaining wall himself as he's come down pit road. It's been a tough day for Dylan Young and that team for Penske Racing. As we go back up to the front, Zach Campbell still continues to lead, but now Richard Johnson, apparently the old tires are not helping him out. He just got passed down low by Joshua Michaels. Now he's getting a challenge down low from James Silverfox. So apparently the new fresh rubber is actually coming into play here. And oh man, James McCloud, that was awfully close back there. He nearly got turned around by Pichu London. Last thing McCloud needs is 2 bad weeks in a row. Let's try and find the guy that's actually trying to run him down for the points lead, and that would be Austin Ogo. He came into this race 14 points behind, and we know that he's definitely not running better than James McCloud at this point. Let's see where he's currently running. Oh man, he's way back here in a 3-wide situation with John Cittadino and Dylan Young. He's back in the 32nd position right now. Wow, they are really tight back here, and there's quite a few chasers here. Chambers, Aaron Williams Jr., Ogo, Cittadino. Not good back here. These guys are racing really, really hard. You got Aaron Williams Jr. in the middle, trying to get by Ralph Mason on the high side and John Cittadino on the inside. Oh man, nearly made some contact there with the Andy Fox Late Model Series Fry's Toyota, and wow, Chambers nearly got into Cittadino. It's a real hornet's nest back here. Here's Emilio Navarrete. 2 weeks ago, he ended up taking the checkered flag in Indianapolis. Last week, he was barrel rolling. This week, oh! Trent Whitney nearly got turned around by somebody. He got wicked loose, bounced off someone, and kept it off the wall. What a save! Oh man, they are so tight back here. They are racing really hard, and I don't pity any driver back in this pack. This is crazy racing going on, and how Whitney saved it, I don't know. That was unbelievable. Oh my goodness, look back here. Oh man. And this is back just at the tail end of the pack here, and they're racing this hard. Oh, and it looks like Zach Campbell was passed for the lead. Joshua Michaels has gone back to the point. Silver Fox now moves into second. Campbell now back is into third, now getting challenged by Pichu London for that spot. McCrory has moved into fifth. Barney Ward is sixth, and Richard Johnson continues to free fall through the field now on those older tires. Here comes the guy who really did well last week out of all the chasers. That's Sean Henley. Sean Henley was able to move himself up to third in points last week, trying to go for back-to-back Snickers Cup Series championships, and right now he's running inside the top 15, but the guy he's really got to watch out for is this guy that he's going to be battling in just mere moments for the, I believe that would be for 13th place, and that is James McCloud, who is still staying inside the top 10 here. He's doing a good job keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble. And he's in a hornet's nest, too. These guys are racing really hard. There's Matthew Rodriguez, who came away with a good top 10 finish last week. Jake Cole, who I believe actually is on a streak of 2 top 10 finishes, looking for his 3rd top 10 finish in a row. And oh, Richard Johnson gets spun! Oh man, I just missed him. Oh, that's going to bring out the caution. And fortunately, it looks like it was a single car incident. Wow. We've been lucky here today so far in New Hampshire. First caution coming out for 2 cars spinning on the front straightaway. This time a solo car spin for Richard Johnson. And nobody else got involved. But you got to think that had to do with the older tires that Richard Johnson had. He slid across the stripe in the 35th position, so that's where he'll be when everything's settled out here. He now moves ahead of Derek Reed to take his spot here, but that's a tough break for Richard Johnson. Apparently the fuel-only strategy did not work out well for last week's winner. Let's take a look at a replay. Now you can kind of see here Jake Cole, James McCloud kind of running into the back of each other here. You got to think maybe something was going on with the 47, Richard Johnson. He may have had a tire going down or something. Let's watch coming off this corner. Oh yeah, right there you can see he just gets loose. And James McCloud gets into him, and then around they go, and James McCloud runs into the passenger side door of his own teammate, Mary Cole. Wow, Mary Cole dodging yet another wreck for the 2nd week in a row. Nice miss there, and Richard Johnson fortunately keeps his car down there against that inside retaining wall alongside of pit road. Everybody else able to file past on the high side. And so the solo car spin for Richard Johnson puts us under the caution flag, but so far we've been able to be relatively lucky in not having a lot of multi-car wrecks, as we are nearing halfway in today's event. Lap 21 goes on the board, and pit stops are the order of the day once again. So the driver's not having to make any green flag pit stops so far. So as far as strategy goes, they're able to make their strategy on pit road. There's Zach Campbell coming down pit road. He's undoubtedly going to go for 4 tires this time because he went with a fuel-only strategy last time. Joshua Michaels, they go in for right side. See if they're going to go around to the left. Yep, 4-tire stop for them. Pichu London, though, he's going to roll the dice. London is gone with what must have been a 2-tire stop for him. Cole Daly going to come out in 2nd. Henley now up to 3rd. Then it's Silver Fox and Sean Galligan. That's going to be the top 5. 6th will be Michaels. 7th, Jordan Davis. Poteet 8th. 9th, Matthew Rodriguez. And I think Jake Cole just barely beat out everybody for 10th place. He's got Jackson and Rope right behind him. Interesting strategy going on here. We're seeing a lot of pit strategy going on. As Dylan Young there was a lap down. He's going to come down and make his pit stop now. And we'll be right back for the green flag. Let's teleport again. There, isn't that cool? We go into nice little teleportation again. Pichu London is going to be the leader as we get ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 24 of 45. That should give us a total, I believe, of 22 laps to go. Yes, that is correct. 22 laps to go here with Pichu London out in front. Still looking for his first win of the season. Currently 25th in points there for Michael Waltrip Racing. Then we got 2nd place. This is going to be Cole Daly. Now remember, Cole Daly comes in 5th in the point standing, so this is definitely a good run for him, and a run that he needed to keep himself in chase contention. How about Sean Henley? Still continuing to work out pit strategy, stay up at the front. You know, Henley, we were talking about him back chase race number 1, chase race number 2. We're saying this is not the same Sean Henley. He's not coming out as aggressively as he did last season. Maybe, just maybe, he's got something planned, because so far, whatever he's got planned out has been working for him. He's within striking distance of the points lead, and he's running 3rd. Right now, still looking amazingly enough for his first win of the season as our defending champ. Then it's Silver Fox up in 4th. Galligan all of a sudden makes an appearance in the top 5 and 5th. Michaels, Davis, Poteet, Jake Cole, and Matthew Rodriguez are going to complete the top 10. Dylan Young is down at least 1 lap. He is 1 lap down to the leaders as we saw him make a green flag pit stop on the last green flag run. He was not able to get off pit road in time before the leaders bypassed him and put him off the lead lap. And it looks like he didn't give Pichu London really any trouble. So Pichu's going to clear the lap car of Dylan Young, who is up to speed, by the way. Dylan Young is not off the pace. He does have some damage to the right side after he brought out the first caution of the day, getting involved with Jake Rogers. Cole Daly, though, he's having some trouble. And, oh, man, look at James Silver Fox barrel it down to the inside. Contact between himself and Dylan Young, but Silver Fox makes the move down low to take 2nd position away from Cole Daly, as well as clear himself with the lap car of Dylan Young. Strong move there for James Silver Fox. It's been a long time since we've seen Silver Fox actually running up here at the front. Silver Fox in that 7. James Silver Fox, I believe, had a top 10 finish last week, if I'm not mistaken. finally starting to get his program back together. There's Widos Savotas making a pit stop. Why is Widos pitting right now? Well, whatever reason he's pitting now, he's going to fall off the lead lap, and that's not going to be good for him. Widos Savotas, after a nice finish last week, I think he finished top 5 if I recall. I think he finished in 3rd, 4th place at Supercell. Now look at James Silverfox on the high side. Man, he's got one strong car, and he's going to go to the outside of Pichu London, who we believe went with a 2-tire stop last time. Silverfox, we know, went with 4 tires. And that is definitely going to help him out, as he definitely clears Pichu London off that corner. Pichu London, I don't think, is up to speed right now. He is definitely losing some time, because Joshua Michaels now going to go to his inside for second. Oh, man, look at this battle back here. Oh, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. They have 3 wide. Poteet finally clears that. Matt Rudd trying to get through. Barney Ward trying to get through. Cole Daly's pinched up on the high side of Dylan Young. Henley's back behind this. The pole sitter, Zach Campbell, is behind this. Oh boy. So Matthew Rodriguez going to see what he can do here, as he finished runner-up last week, I believe it was, to Richard Johnson. Trying to come back here. He's doing a great job right now in that 14. Oh wait, they're smoking the front straightaway. Oh boy, must be right up ahead. Oh, Silver Fox just gets by. Aaron Williams Jr. was in whatever it was, and man, we almost had a mirror image of what happened last week with James McCloud nearly happened with the other James Silver Fox. Oh man, James McCloud has got damage. The points leader, 2nd week in a row, is involved. Widos Savotas, after a great run last week, is in it. Eric Burton's involved. Tim Walsh has got damage, and they're still piling up here. Citadino, Ogo, Jake Rogers all got pieces of it. There's Richard Johnson. I don't know if he was involved or not. Trying to look further up here for any other possibly damaged race cars. I think Ralph Mason's gotten a piece of it. Navarrete may have gotten some of it. Anthony McCrory, 7th in points. He's in it. And there must have been some others. One of them was Aaron Williams Jr. I saw him turned around. So they're going to make some pit stops here. And they'll be pitting with just about 15 laps to go. So let's watch them as they're going to come down pit road here. See what kind of pit stops they're going to make. What a tough break for James McCloud. I counted about 3 drivers right there that are in the chase that were involved in that. McCloud, Citadino, and Anthony McCrory. Still some question marks over who else could have been involved as far as the chasers go. And Matthew Rodriguez is first off. Remember, he had a drag race right there with his teammate from Stewart-Haas Racing, Joshua Michaels. I don't know if it was Rodriguez or Michaels who got it at the line off of pit road. Poteet came out 3rd. 4th was Barney Ward, and Callum Wales was 5th. Then it was Zach Campbell, Cole Daly, Pichu London, Sean Henley, and Danny Wells is going to complete the top 10 now after a nice stop for him. See if I can find anybody else who was involved there. There's Citadino. There's Aaron Williams Jr. I think he might have been part of the start of that wreck. There's Alex DeMarco just ahead of him. I think those two definitely were involved. Some damage to Trent Dunham as well. Don't know if he may have gotten a piece of it. Or at least been, well, I know he got a piece of it, but I don't know if he was the start of it. Richard Johnson there as well. And now Dylan Young, who was a lap down, making his pit stop. Joshua Michaels did beat Matthew Rodriguez off pit road, so Stewart-Haas Racing will be 1, 2, and 5 for this restart. So great run so far for all 3 of those drivers. So we're going to take a look and see what puts under the caution for, I believe it was our 3rd time here today. Let's take a look here at what exactly happened. It may start right here with our points leader, James McCloud. He had Eric Burton into the back of him. Burton had DeMarco into the back of him. DeMarco had Danica Shirley into the back of him. And they were all really just shoving into each other's left rear quarter panels, but they were keeping it together. And unfortunately, right here, yep, you see the McCloud starts to get loose, gets really loose. Eric Burton can't get off of him. McCloud's going to go down. He clips Widos Savotas, and straight up into the wall they go. And this is where it's all going to start. Oh my goodness. Hard into the wall there for both McCloud and Votas. There's Eric Burton. He's going to get involved in it. DeMarco's in it. Danica Shirley's held up behind it. Look at Emilio Navarrete. Nice job getting down to the inside to miss it. Ralph Mason does the same. Danny Wells, Jeffrey Buckeye, they get through it. So does Madison Sieber. And look at the cars up there on the high side. Trent Dunham, nowhere for him to go in the Cecina Chevrolet. Or Sinessa, I forget which order the letters are in, whichever. Jake Rogers involved there. There's John Citadino. Tim Walsh caught up behind there. And there's Aaron Williams Jr. back there on the high side. He really didn't get that much damage from it. He was trying to squeeze his way by on the high side. The only reason he was way back was the fact that he and Trent Dunham were held up behind Alex DeMarco here, who could not get his car turned back around. So they were trying to get by, could not do, and they were held up there. And there's McCloud almost kind of doing the same thing DeMarco's doing, trying to turn around. Tim Walsh finally going to allow him to get his Chevrolet turned around, but that's a tough break there for the points leader, McCloud. We know John Cedino involved, but we also know Anthony McCurry sustained some damage from something. Let's try and take a look and see what happened there. Well, this was in turn 1, after they had taken the caution flag and everything. Apparently, everyone from about 19th position on back had a very difficult time slowing down, while everybody else was trying to find their positions from first on back to 19th, and this is what happens. Anthony McCurry just doesn't slow down. He's still going about 50 miles an hour. Navarrete runs into the back of him, and then everybody's just going to start jacking up from 20th on back. McCurry into the back of Mary Cole, Navarrete into the back of Jackson, Mason goes into the back of McCurry. Those two can be teammates next season, by the way. There's Danny Wilson involved. Buckeye gets a piece of it there. Further back, you see Richard Johnson turn around Danica Shirley. There's Cole Daly. Oh, that's not Daly. That's Derek Reed, my bad. He gets involved. And then they're just all stacked up back here. There's Johnson, there's Trent Whitney, there's Chambers. Citadino going to get another big chunk of something there, that time with Austin Ogo. Jake Rogers runs into the back of Citadino. And that was the reason that Anthony McCurry sustained some damage, was the fact that from 20th place on back, they couldn't slow up in order to find their spots under the caution flag. So we had 2 incidents take place there, 3 chasers involved, including the points leader, James McCloud. You see Austin Ogo there involved in this incident too, and he was going to be way back in the pack. He's second in points, so now the question is, what does this mean as far as the point stands are going to go? We're going to find out, though. We still got to finish off this race. Let's head back for the green flag. So we'll get ready to go back under the green on lap 33 of 45. That'll give us a total of 13 to go here today. Well, our first few cautions end up involving single and 2-car incidents. Now they're starting to get bigger and bigger as the race progresses on, and we now have some DNFs from this race, including Jake Rogers, Eric Burton, James McCloud, and Whitus of Otas. McCloud's second straight week. That 51 team has had problems. That's a tough break for the 3-time winner. So he's really going to have to dig himself out of the hole he's made for himself here with 2 straight DNFs. One last week at Supercell while leading the race, and this one when he was running somewhere around, I think he was just inside the top 20, or maybe inside the top 15, but Joshua Michael's going to be the leader as we go back to green. There's Dylan Young still a lap down the inside line. He's now 38th. Matthew Rodriguez will be second, Dylan Pote third, Barney Ward fourth, and Zach Campbell will be fifth, with Callum Wales sixth, seventh is Cole Daly, Pichu London eighth, Sean Henley ninth, and Danny Wells completes the top 10. Let's find the rest of our chasers. Mary Cole is in 12th. Gotta go quite a ways back before you find another chaser in Hayden Klein. He is in 21st place. There's Anthony McCurry. He is in 28th. Adam Chambers 29th. 30th, Austin Ogo. Aaron Williams Jr. back in 33rd. And there's John Citadino back, I believe he was in 37th place. That's it for the chasers as we have Joshua Michaels out in front. Matthew Rodriguez now trying to get around Dylan Young. That's the lap car of Dylan Young. Now Matt Rod has to clear him in order to try and concentrate on his rookie teammate, Joshua Michaels, for what could be the potential run for the win here. And he has now cleared Dylan Young, and now Dylan Pote actually losing a position on the high side. Barney Ward was able to get by him. Zach Campbell now looks to the inside. That's for 4th place. Barney Ward there in the Shell Pennzoil Chevy. Big opportunity for him. Dylan Pote, quite a few drivers who are running down near the bottom of the chase standings to be able to close up a little bit more ground here now after tough luck by drivers like James McCloud, Austin Ogo, and Aaron Williams Jr. I mean, Aaron Williams Jr. did get some damage from that incident. As Matthew Rodriguez now has Dylan Young in his rearview mirror. Those two, I don't know if they're running single file trying to catch up to the 10 or what, but Joshua Michaels, it'll be very interesting to see what happens when it comes down between Joshua Michaels and his veteran teammate Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez there has not got a win yet this season. Neither has Joshua Michaels. Question is, who wants it more, the rookie or the veteran? It looks like Derek Reed just completed a stop on pit road. He was involved in that incident there after the caution flag had flown, so undoubtedly they're down there repairing his Valvoline Next Gen Ford out of Germain Racing. And Joshua Michaels, I think right now the only thing he can hope for is no caution flag to come out. If a caution flag comes out, then that's going to bunch the field back up. And if a caution does come out, what he's got to hope is that Dylan Young is going to be ahead of Matthew Rodriguez. That means he would have a lap car between himself and Matt Rod when they would go back to green, if they went back to green. I think we would go back to green still because we have about 9 laps to go. When it gets down to about 5 to go, though, that would really be questionable as far as whether or not we would go back to green flag racing to finish off today's event. And I'll tell you what, right now the best friend Joshua Michaels has is Dylan Young in the Blue Deuce, because Dylan Young's keeping Matthew Rodriguez awfully occupied right now. Matt Rod not able to concentrate his focus on the 10 up ahead, instead having to battle side by side with the lap car of Dylan Young. Dylan Young, I'll tell you what, he is not running on the lead lap, but he is running up to speed, and he's been just as fast as the leaders here today. So, you know, if circumstances worked themselves out a little bit different for him, he probably could have been up here battling for the win, because he has got himself one stellar piece. As there's Dylan Poteet right behind, Barney Ward behind him, and the pole sitter, Zach Campbell, hasn't really lost touch with the top 5 at all today. Great run right there for that Dodge in the 5th position. There is Sean Henley, still running very well right now in the 7th position. We know James McCloud is retired from this race, so Sean Henley will have passed James McCloud in the standings. Question is, will he have passed Austin Ogo? And the answer to that is yes, because Austin Ogo was only 4 points ahead of Henley in the standings. So right now, if Henley can stay where he is as he gets into the left rear of Pichu London, oh, Pichu saved it! Oh my goodness, we nearly had a point shakeup take place right there, and oh, now they're jacking up. Now they're 3 wide, bouncing off each other. Jordan Davis stuck in the middle, Silver Fox down the inside, high side Cold Valley. That just really backed everybody up there. But going back to what I was saying before we almost had that wreck, if Henley can stay inside the top 10 as he's been able to do, he will be the new points leader heading into next week's race in Atlanta. And now, Joshua Michaels, he doesn't have to worry about any pressure from his teammate Matthew Rodriguez. Instead, he's got to worry about some pressure from the Penske Ford of Dylan Young, who has been able to clear Matthew Rodriguez. Dylan Young wants to finish this race on the tail end of the lead lap, I guess, or something. Because look at him, he's roughing up the back bumper of that GoDaddy.com Chevrolet, right on the back bumper, shoving that car into turn 3. And here comes Dylan Young on the high side. He's going to go for it. Dylan Young, man, he's got a fast race car, even though it's not on the lead lap. Very impressive right there for the Dylan Young machine. You know, Dylan Young is 13th in the point standings right now as we speak. He is the highest running driver who is not in the chase as far as points are concerned. And Dylan Young right now is really showing why he was so close on making the chase and why he maybe should have made the chase. Just circumstances didn't work out, and he has cleared Joshua Michaels now. He is currently on the tail end of the lead lap, but with only 5 laps to go, 4 when they hit the stripe, I don't think there's enough time for Dylan Young to be able to get back to the tail end of the longest line and pick up a few spots before this race is over. But that's not the leader. That is the guy who's on the tail end of the lead lap now in 34th, Dylan Young. And after he passed Joshua Michaels, now that's brought Matthew Rodriguez right up to the back bumper of Joshua Michaels. Stewart Haas Racing, we may have a teammate battle for the win here with about 2.5 laps to go. Is anybody else able to join this battle here? Oh man, oh my goodness, look at them back here. Henley, Hayden, Klein, and oh, they're going to pit. They're going to pit. Michaels, Matt Rod, they pitted. Oh boy. So Henley is going to be the leader here with 2 laps to go. Ogo just completed a pit stop. So did Tim Walsh. As Henley may be in the right place at the right time, is he going to be able to win this thing? James Silverfox right behind him to his high side is Pichu London trying to battle for the lead here. Hayden Klein all of a sudden makes his presence felt here. Oh, Henley gets into London. London gets the wall. Oh, careful guys, careful, careful. They're really close to each other. Silver Fox on the low side, Henley in the middle, London up high. Here comes Hayden Klein. White flag in the air. This thing ain't over yet. McCrory just completed a pit service stop. There's Danica Shirley on pit road. Hayden Klein shoving into Sean Henley in turn 2. Zach Campbell, the pole sitter, had to make a pit stop. Can Silver Fox hang on? He's got now about 3 car lengths in hand. Over Hayden Klein. He'll have Zach Campbell up ahead of him. Campbell's going to hold him up. Can Silver Fox make it? He's just got to milk it around. Out of turn 4 for the final time. Silver Fox, for the first time in his career, he picks up a Snickers Cup Series win in his rookie season. He wins at New Hampshire, and the caution flag is flying. Doesn't matter, though. This race is over. I think they're going to officially have this race ending under the yellow flag. It did come out before Silver Fox got to the line. But James Silver Fox, a 3-time winner in the Mobil 1 Cup Series last season, this season comes in as a rookie and finally goes to victory lane here today at New Hampshire in the Camping World RV Sales 301. What an incredible job there for that team out of Tommy Baldwin Racing. Silver Fox, an incredible job, showing why he was ready to make that move up to the Snickers Cup Series, and just was a matter of getting himself back on the right track. He had a top 10 last week at Supercell. I guess that was enough motivation to get him up here to be able to win this thing, and I'll tell you what, that was a chaotic few last laps there with Silver Fox, Henley, Pichu London, Hayden Klein. How they kept it together, I have no idea, but they did a tremendous job. There may be a little bit of a racing rivalry going on between Pichu London and Sean Henley. I mean, the two of them made contact at least 2 or 3 times there with about 5 laps to go. Somehow, someway, they kept it together, though. But James Silver Fox, in his rookie season, finally is going to win here in the Snickers Cup Series. And as always, we're going to show you the official top 10 results. Hayden Klein, this certainly is going to help get him maybe back into the championship picture, as he was 8th in points coming into today's race. He's going to get the runner-up spot. Sean Henley is your new chase points leader with an incredible 3rd place run. Pichu London did finish in 4th, so Henley and London, they roughed each other up, but didn't rough each other up enough to finish poorly. 3rd and 4th for both of them. How about George Roke and Jacob Lawler? 2 drivers out of Michael Waltrip Racing. Great runs for both of them. Jordan Davis, I don't think we talked about him hardly at all today. I kept seeing up inside the top 15 for most of this race. He's going to get 7th place. Cole Daly, great run for him. 5th in points, 8th today. Ralph Mason, after I think he got a piece of an incident earlier on, he's going to finish the day in 9th. I don't know why I keep thinking it's night. And Kyle Sosnowski is going to be the highest finishing Hendrick Motorsports driver today with a solid top 10 finish. Let's find out where the rest of our chasers finished. As we look down through the list, John Cittadino finished in 14th place. Wow. That car was all smashed up on the front end, and somehow he's going to get 14th. I don't know how that happened. Barney Ward going to finish the day in 17th place. It's a tough break for him, as he was running up near the top 5 for most of the day. Adam Chambers going to finish the day in 19th place. Dylan Pote, 22nd, after he was up front for quite a good deal of this race, up inside the top 10. Anthony McCurry's going to get 26th. Looking further down, Austin Ogo is going to finish the day in 30th, 1 lap down. Aaron Williams Jr. also a lap down in 32nd. Mary Cole was 35th place. And then the final car that was out of the race that was a chaser was James McCloud. So Sean Henley, who is trying to go for back-to-back Snickers Cup Series championships, he is now the new points leader of this series in the chase. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is the first time this entire season Sean Henley has been atop the points. Will this be a sign of things to come for that number 25 team? We'll have to find out. Congratulations to James Silver Fox on his first career win in the Snickers Cup Series, coming here today at New Hampshire. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finisher results, overall points, rookie points, and chase points heading into next week. As we finished off this weekend, we're heading next week to Atlanta Motor Speedway for Trucks, Mobil, and Snickers Cup Series action. Thanks for watching, guys. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.